Before traveling to your game day destination this football season, be sure to download the M.Dot Traffic app to help you reach the game safely by checking ahead for crashes, closures, and construction with M.Dot Traffic app. Available free for both Apple and Android devices.
Back to work. Good to be in a normal week after really not having one with an opener starting early. And then, then last week with the losing 2 days for the short week. So short Monday practice like normal at the beginning of the year. This is a really good team. It's very talented, very well coached. And that's not coach speak. You can see it on film. That's why they go to Norman down to the last play of the game. And, you know, when you watch them, they got really good players. You know, a lot of times I say these, you know, Alabama, Louisiana schools, there are a lot of players that are in the state. And you can't all go to Alabama, Auburn, or LSU. So we see them all over the place. Really good-looking kids. I told our team today, if you don't know about conferences and you just watch film and watch them play, you know, this is an SEC opponent.
I guess going off of that, what stands out about what their offense has been able to do so far? They put up big numbers, but what have they been doing to succeed so well?
Really multiple. Well coached. They caused you issues. Looks like, you know, he's done it at a number of places, but, you know, can change week to week and look at what you do and give you problems, not just run plays, you know, like a lot of people do. So, and a really good quarterback that can move again. So, got a lot of work to do.
Lane, I had noticed this morning that one outlet had graded your offensive line out Saturday as the third best unit in the country over the weekend. That was without your starting center in the lineup. Just what have you thought about those guys up front through the first two ball games?
Well, I don't know what outlet that is, but
Pro Football Focus.
Okay. Well, Pro Football Focus don't know a whole lot about watching film, so no disrespect. But we didn't play real well up front. I know the numbers look good, but, you know, tell Pro Football Focus to realize we're running into five-man boxes most of the time because they're staying deep because of these three receivers. So you're supposed to be able to run into that. You know, we got beaten pass protection in one-on-one matchups. Quarterback had to get rid of the ball early, so I was not pleased how we played up front. But what do I know?
A couple weeks ago, Spencer Rattler, after they played Tulane, said it was like the most physical team he had ever gone against. Does that come through on film?
It does, and like I said, they got a lot of good-looking players. You know, they start different guys in 2 weeks on defense. They rotate them in. It really looks like they have, you know, 22, 24 players that they feel really good about, and that's a good thing to have. You know, because they stay fresh and probably had a lot to do with how well they played in the second half versus Oklahoma. And really they gave up no big plays in this last game until the end when it was out of hand and, you know, it looked like the third team was in. So they're really good. You can't go on past, you know, different years, different games don't mean anything. You know, sometimes the week before don't mean a whole lot, but you know, you look at what these guys have done, they played really well and against some really good players in week one.
Jerrion's touches have been a little bit down this year. Just what have you seen from Jerrion, and what do you need to see from him to get him going a little bit more?
I don't think that's on purpose. You know, they missed out on touches in the second half last week with pulling guys earlier. You know, we were a little bit pass heavy last week early. Trying to work on some things. So, and it's a long season. You know, he's not the biggest back, so he's not going to be Derrick Henry. We're not going to give him the ball 90 times in a 2-game span. So, but he does a lot for us, and he'll continue to.
Lane, do you feel like you guys have, I guess, leaders or stars on defense right now, or are you seeing more widespread contributions from your guys?
Well, I think it showed up Springer not playing last week. He's very physical. You saw the way he was hitting in the opening game. So we missed that last week. I didn't think we played great on defense. I thought we played okay. The two defensive ends made a lot of plays with their rush. But we obviously did not play very well at corner with all the PIs, and two deep balls. So we got to play better, and we got to tackle better.
It looked like Clowney and Taiwan Malone kind of flashed a little bit there in the fourth quarter. What'd you see from those guys in both of their first real exposure?
Yeah, I mean, we need guys to come along. We're not playing very many guys up front right now, which is not good. So, both those guys are ends. They're young guys, different players, but both have big upside. That's a hard move, obviously, to make, to just go all of a sudden play nose tackle. He did in high school. So that's a work in progress. He does give us, obviously, a really big body there. For the front we've been playing. We've been playing a lot of odd front and zero technique. And when you have a really big nose, that's a difficult defense. So hopefully he can continue to develop.
I think you talked about it. I haven't played an SEC team. So I think that's kind of like premature to make that judgment. But I think guys in practice are fast. I played against a lot of fast guys up in Maryland. We had really fast receiving core and saw a lot of speed up there in the Big Ten too. So I don't know. Yeah.
When we see what Tulane's doing on the stat sheet, obviously the numbers are pretty gaudy. But when you watch them on film, what do they do well that you're seeing from that offense?
I think they play with a ton of heart. I think they run what they have really well. Fairly multiple. They have a wide variety of offense. They hit you with a lot of volume. I think they're a talented team and they play really hard. I think you saw that both week 1 and week 2. So that's definitely something that we got to be ready for, and it's a big challenge.
Chance, do you get the sense that contributions are coming from a lot of different areas with this defense?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are playing really good ball. I think it's coming from a lot of areas. I mean, we have had some great stuff in the interior. We're doing really well on the back end. And so I think it's coming from a lot of areas. We're outside in, inside out. And I think that's what you want out of a defense. So just kind of keep taking the next steps for everyone.
What do you think is the next step collectively that this unit needs to take?
I think probably just more consistency. I think you can never hurt from getting some more consistency. I think we see what it looks like when we play well, when we play with great effort and great technique. So just making sure that that's an every down thing.
The coaches have talked a lot about penalties after these last 2 games. Just what has the emphasis been like from Lane and Durkin and Partridge and those guys about limiting penalties?
Yeah, I mean, that's just something that we can't do. I think we got hurt on those. Crushes our yardage, especially we had a lot of them on third down, and that's difficult. It's tricky because you do a lot of things to get to third down, and it's like it doesn't just happen. So when you get there, you want to make sure that you get off the field. So just making sure that we clean those up, and some of the ones that are effort, they're going to happen, but just the ones that we can get right, we need to.
Henry, just through 2 games, what can you say about how you've played? How do you feel like you've produced, and what do you like about your role?
I don't feel like I think I played very well, but not like as our running back coach said, not as how we're supposed to play. With the details and production, just got to keep moving forward and strive.
So what are the details that you kind of need to improve on?
My landmark, eyes on the backers, and sweep breathing, hitting my creases.
Henry, you guys are coming off 2 back-to-back big wins. And then looming ahead in the distance is a big date over at Alabama. But you got Tulane coming in this weekend first. What safeguards do you guys employ to make sure there's no looking over the horizon past Tulane?
Just the details and just getting the film room every day, preparing ourselves, outwork our opponent, and just come out with attitude and just grind every day and work and get better.
Have you watched film on them yet?
Yes, sir.
What's your opinion of Tulane?
They're aggressive. They get around the ball. Just gotta make guys miss and focus on my details and put myself in the right position to succeed.
Is it harder to get going when you're rotating with Snoop and Jerrion and you're only getting a couple touches a quarter?
Nah. It's gonna be like that the whole year. So we're gonna just have to get in the groove and just, like I said, details, and it's gonna make it go.
You guys are still averaging something like 6 or 7 yards per carry so far this season, but what kind of is the expectation for you guys? How do you grow from where you're at?
Just keep working, man. And it's right there in front of us. Coach Smith give us the game plan and how we gonna do things, and just gotta execute it and execute it at a high level.
Just following up on something Nick asked, and when you were in high school, you were a every carry kind of running back.
Yeah.
But what is the advantage of having fresh legs when you're in the game pretty much all the time because of this rotation?
It's pretty good. In high school, like you said, like I used to get the ball every carry. But like in college, it's like way different, and like coaches want you first. You have to be first. All that contact, it's not so good for your body. So just have to keep going and take care of your body so you can produce.
It seems like through 2 games, Matt's been running just as much as any of the running backs have. How do you guys grade Matt Corral as a running back?
That's a star right there. I don't know how you could do that. He has a talented arm, and everybody know what he could do with his feet. So it's just a combined thing, and it's time to work.